So I guess yeah, we like both these teams like made the finals. Just like high arcing predictions, I guess, like for like going forward. Like, do you guys think like I mean, like just like of my opinion, like we obviously haven't seen like a back-to-back champion in like so many years, like in 8 years. Um, and even like in that whole stretch, I'm like trying to think through like the Celtics are like the only team to make the finals like in multiple years, I guess, with the Warriors and the year that they won. Um, I'm just curious, like, what do you guys think for next year? Like, you guys think either of these teams could get back, or are you guys like anticipating like a some other team will come and take it? I mean, it's going to be obviously like a different field next year, but I don't know. I think I kind of lean towards like I still feel like just like playing this many games and minutes and stuff, like these teams could be tired and like you never know. Like one thing we never talk about, or we do talk about it a little bit, but in terms of like the finals, like these two teams were pretty relatively healthy, right? Like I know Fox or whatever had like his ankle sprain, but he's like playing pretty much like the last like two series. Other than that, I guess like Mitchell Robinson like broke his pinky, but it's still like a like like a big coming off the bench and he doesn't really like shoot anyways like so like I'm just curious like what you guys think about that like going forward and what do you guys think about the field next year.
Yeah, I think it's definitely possible for both of these teams to get back in the finals next year. Ideally you only get better from here on out, especially the Spurs. Um, but will they? I think the playoff picture will matter a lot, of course. If the Knicks had some different opponents in these playoffs, would they have gone to the finals? Very likely, but I think it could have been a harder road. I don't think you would have seen like the sweeps that we saw. Um, so I think like if they face like the Celtics instead of the Sixers, that would have been a longer series for sure. It's weird how those things work out, but yeah, I think for the West, I would say the Thunder definitely they're gonna make a couple moves for sure. I think they'll come back a little bit better. Um, but the West picture is a little weird because there's just like a couple teams that at this point should be like, reaching their peak and kind of like uh contending for the conference finals, but like they're not really like the Rockets. Um and like, the Nuggets kind of like just got bounced. So there's a lot that like a lot of teams will have to figure out. Um but yeah, I think we could see a repeat next year. That would be kind of fun. I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah, I mean, I think the NBA would love that if this happens again, like for the next few years. But I do think both teams could definitely get back to the finals. The path is probably a little bit harder for the Knicks. Like if you look like the main players in the East, it's usually like the Celtics, the Pacers, of course, and they kind of had injured, kind of like scrap years. So next year, if they come back healthy, and then when Giannis gets to the Heat, we'll have some more competition in the East for the Knicks. Um, but in the West, I think like their competition is pretty well defined. It's like the Thunder right now, and a lot of just like teams on the fringe of being contenders. And I'm not sure if any of them will like take that next step next year. So for the Spurs, the path is pretty easy. They just have to kind of like get to the Thunder series and make that competitive again. But for the Knicks, I don't know. I think they have the right personnel, but there will be a lot more harder competition next year for sure.
I know Shruth want to say something about the Lakers. You've been smiling. Say it.
We're
Say
waiting
that
for
for
it,
this
bro.
moment.
Let it rip,
No,
Truth.
bro, it's the Lakers. Luka MVP. No, I'm
The
Yeah,
one
playing.
Uzair,
yeah.
you gotta
Right.
post the photo, bro, the photo where everyone has their awards.
Wait, what? Which one?
The one I said in the chat where it just shows like the players like face and
Oh
like what
yeah,
awards they got
yeah.
and it ends
Right
with Luca
here.
at the
It's
end.
that ball as well.
The East is like wide open though. Like I feel like East is gonna be hard to like predict, but Knicks are obviously gonna be like favorites. But they have to keep their team together. I know they're gonna let the main stars run it back, but I don't know if they keep the role players like the bench. But if they do, I still see them being the best team, even like with like a Giannis trade to Celtics or Heat. I think that's the top two teams right now, based on trade rumors for the past 2 days. But I still feel like Knicks got chemistry, and I still feel like they would win that series. Um, but on the West, I think like Thunder probably favorites though over Spurs to make it back. I don't think because now every team gonna know what's the method to defeat the Spurs. So I feel like OKC knows that now. They know what to do with Chet. They're like gonna retrain. I feel like OKC is gonna be the best bet. But East is like completely wide open. I don't see any competing teams. Like the Giannis team, like whatever, if he does go make it up in the East, like they gotta like train. Maybe if they get that much better, maybe. But I just feel like Knicks are gonna be like clear favorites on the East though.
Not until we get Jalen Brown.
Hey,
And
Yeah, that
then
trade was Giannis to the Celtics, Jalen Brown to the Clippers, and Clippers at the fifth pick to
yeah,
the Bucks.
you're
No.
seeing the vision. Two
I
Kawhis
mean,
on
I
one
don't know.
team.
I feel like the path to it though is like you have to like I mean I'm thinking about like the Celtics, right? Like the Celtics is like the one team that made the finals like multiple times. I feel like at some point they got to like area where like okay, like they were pretty much getting to the conference finals like almost like every year. I feel like I what was it? Like they probably made it like what like 3 or 4 times in like that span or something and they made it to the finals like 2 out of those 4 times. So I think like that's like the key, right? Like you have to consistently be able to like make the conference finals. The Thunder have done that like 2 years in a row. Obviously, like we have to see like if the Spurs can do it. But I mean, I think just to add a little bit more nuance to the West, like you never know with the Timberwolves. Like this year, they unfortunately weren't healthy, but they still took 2 games on the Spurs. So like I feel like we always discount them and no one brings them up in the beginning, but then like randomly they'll go ahead and beat somebody, and then you'll be like, okay, snap, here they're here again.
Yeah.
So the Wolves are always like a team I look at, and the Nuggets, yeah. I mean, as long as they have Jokic, they'll probably have to do some reshuffling again as well, but